The Anvil is one of the best weapons out there in arc raiders, but is playing it really as complicated as people say it is? I knew this weapon was strong, but after checking some guides I was left with more questions than answers. So let's slide into the world of Anvil. We need to find out the important things that will change how we can use this weapon. Follow me along, because in the next 10 minutes you'll learn what works, what doesn't, and why. Taking fights with Anvil feels amazing. You can push fights into full panic very quickly and then just capitalize on the chaos that comes afterwards. The high fire rate and damage per shot makes this weapon feel almost broken. If you're able to stay more calm and collected than your opponent, then you have already won. The single most important thing with this weapon is to land your first shot. What really helps here, that nobody actually mentions anywhere, is to have a good crosshair that helps you understand when your best shot can take place. The circle crosshair is something you can easily set up in your settings. Anvil is exceptionally great in PvE as well. One shot is all you need for pops, fireballs and ticks, and you'll take bigger arc out in no time. You just have to know their weak spots. You can get this beautiful hand cannon from raids, buy it from Tianwen the trader, or craft it yourself in Gunsmith Bench Tier 1 if you have found the blueprint. Upgrading it increases your fire rate significantly and allows you to be more accurate faster. I'll show you the comparison soon. For upgrades, all you need is a bit of mechanical components and some simple or heavy gun parts, depending on the tier. Let's check the base stats of this weapon. So each shot does 40 damage, but if your shots connect to the head, then that is multiplied by 2.5. So that's 100 damage. This means you can almost 2-tap anybody in this game. It's a little bit more difficult against heavy shields because you're going to need 3 taps, but with an Anvil splitter you can also reduce it to 2. But we'll talk more about that later. There's a really good Arc Raiders damage calculator that Erotic has done. It has helped me so much. So if you want to explore different shot combinations against different shields with Anvil, then check the link in the video description. If you want to see more quality Arc Raiders videos in the future, then subscribe to the channel and like the video. This is the best way to let me know how I'm doing, and together we'll learn the best ways to play this game. We have a very chill and supportive community here in Discord. You're very welcome to join if you're looking for somebody to play with or learn more about the game. You can share your stories and pictures about the game, exchange items with each other safely, and take part of our community's weekly giveaways. You can find the Discord link in the video description. But now let's check out how this weapon actually works. First, let's take a look at the shot dispersion and recovery in slow motion from Anvil 1 to Anvil 4. The higher the Anvil tier, the less time it takes for you to be more accurate again after your shot. This becomes important when we can shoot faster. Here I will do 3 shots as fast as possible in slow motion, and if you take a look at Anvil 1 and 2, then these two can be spammed with minimal impact to your overall accuracy. However, we cannot fully recover with Anvil 3 and 4, and this is a problem we need to deal with. The higher fire rate now starts interfering with our accuracy, but there is a simple solution to this problem, and that is a compensator. Here are Anvil 3 and 4 with different compensators side by side, 3 shots done as fast as possible in slow motion. We can very clearly see that Anvil 4 is better in this compensator test, so always upgrade it for more DPS. And if you plan to use a compensator, then always pick the best one you can afford for better accuracy. Now I took Anvil to the shooting range as well and tested different muzzle attachments multiple times, but for time's sake I'll keep it short and sweet and show you the conclusion. In mid-range distance, I did see the best results with the compensator, which is what I expected. So if you want to be accurate in mid-range, then definitely go with the compensator. The muzzle brake is out of the question since you have to readjust your next shot anyway. So that leaves us the extended barrel. When does that come to play? Well, I listened to your suggestions, and this time around we did test leading shots at around 120 meters. Just to see where approximately it would become useful to have. The leading shot test was done while crouching, and it's pretty clear how useful it is at this range. If we take a look at the shots where I hit and where the aim point was before I fired, it's pretty clear that it becomes effective at around 100 meter range, so it's perfect for large open maps. It's also really good against arcs as well. Every shot you hit does a small knockback, so as a result they will get to engagement distance a little bit later, and by then it's possible that you have already taken it out. It becomes especially useful when you're doing your trials and you need to pull or attack arcs from the other side of the map. What I also wanted to know is that if there is any noticeable bullet drop for this weapon at longer distances. So we chose 200 meters for our distance, then I picked a spot on the wall and shot that same place 5 times with the extended barrel, and then 5 times without one. We did multiple runs on this and the results were similar. The shots only landed in the dispersion area, so from this we concluded that there's no noticeable bullet drop, at least from 200 meters. And this concludes the extended barrel, but now let's check out the silencers. Here we did 2 tests, first at 100 meters, 2 shots without one, and then 2 shots with the next progressively better silencer. One of the best things about silencer is that it removes the muzzle flash too. So let's see this at 200 meters. If you want stealthier plays, be it day or night, then the silencer is a great choice. But now let's continue with some tips and tricks that I wish somebody explained to me sooner. Anvil rewards your patience. Many other weapons, such as shotguns, reward you for being hyper aggressive, but I think that with this weapon it's the polar opposite. I find that Anvil players are more opportunistic. They play around timings, they can punish very simple mistakes with just one shot, and then take advantage of the results. If the enemies do aggressive peeks, then you can punish that. If they start pushing you, then you have to try to isolate them the best you can, because you can't spray multiple enemies at once. You can do things one shot at a time, and you can only have 6 shots in the magazine, so you have to make them count. Second thing is to force enemy movement in medium range. There are very few weapons that can do something significant to you in this range, but you are in a perfect position to send some shots on the way. So send grenades or bait with movement, whatever you can do to get a shot at them. In most cases, your shot will hurt way more. I'm not telling you to avoid close range combat, but you got to keep in mind that you can't face tank either. In this range, if you're against a shotgun or a bobcat for example, then the odds are simply just not in your favor. In close range situations, the best thing you can do is swing and shoot. With Anvil, you can turn the tides very quickly. My number 1 tip would be to get yourself this Combat MK3 flanking augment. If you get your hands on this blueprint, you can craft augments which allow you to equip Anvil and pistols 33% faster. What it allows you to do is to play Anvil and Burletta combination, which allows you to do incredibly flexible plays. And you have plenty of utility slots to make a good use of traps. The only drawback is that you have to rock the light shield, so it's not a bad idea to take a backup light shield with you. Since this weapon is great in PvP and PvE, I will give you some easy weapon durability math. I tested this because it's super useful to know how many bullets you should take to the raid that you can use before your weapon actually fully breaks. It's useful information to know when going to trials or if you just want to make an informed decision. So the math is simple. If your weapon has a durability burn modifier on it, such as the Silencer 3 or Compensator 3, then multiply your durability by 2, and in all other cases, multiply it by 2.5. That will give you the number of heavy ammo you should bring with you to the raid. I wanted to quickly go over the Anvil splitter as well. It's a legendary drop and cannot be crafted as of yet, but instead of you shooting a bullet, it shoots 4 projectiles, each one doing 12 damage, so it's a little bit more than your normal Anvil. The drawback is that your minimum dispersion when ADSing does increase significantly, and that forces you to play close range distances up to 20 meters if you want to land your shots effectively. But it's a fun attachment that I recommend you to try. Don't be afraid to use it, because that's what the attachments are for. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.